Welcome to Spelling Bee Ninja. We're thrilled to have you with us today on this educational journey where we unlock the powers of critical thinking and analytical skills. If you find value in our content, please subscribe to our podcast for free and join our community of curious learners. Together, let's explore the fascinating world of knowledge and empower ourselves with the ability to analyze and interpret data effectively. Today, we're diving into data interpretation, how to make sense of graphs, charts, statistics, and more. Let's get started. In today's lesson, we're focusing on the crucial skill of data interpretation. You may not realize it, but data interpretation is a foundational skill that everyone will benefit from, whether you're analyzing scientific research, evaluating a business report, or understanding political claims. At its core, data interpretation is the systematic process of reviewing and analyzing data to draw meaningful conclusions. But first, it's important to understand the types of data we encounter. Data can come in two primary forms, qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative data refers to descriptive information, think words, observations, interviews, and characteristics. For example, feedback from a satisfaction survey might give you colorful insights into how people feel about a product. On the other hand, quantitative data comprises numbers and measurable metrics, such as test scores and temperature readings. It's vital to recognize that both types of data have their unique strengths. Qualitative data enriches our understanding with context, while quantitative data provides clarity and precision. Critical thinkers understand which type of data to use for specific questions and often combine both to enhance their analyses. Moving on, let's discuss data visualization. Have you ever looked at a bar chart or a line graph and instantly grasped the message? That's the power of data visualization. Good visual representations can transform complex data into clear, accessible information. Examples include bar charts for categories, line graphs for trends over time, and pie charts that illustrate parts of a whole. The purpose is to help people quickly see patterns and relationships that would otherwise be obscured by raw numbers. Did you know that William Playfair created the first data visualizations back in 1786? He developed the bar chart and line graph to help people understand economic data better. His innovative approach made data accessible even to those who weren't mathematically trained. And data visualization continues to play an essential role in fields like public health, where graphs and infographics help convey crucial information, especially during times like the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, let's explore statistical thinking, which is all about understanding key concepts that help us interpret numbers. Think about mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation, and correlation. For example, if you learn that the average salary at a company is $50,000, this number alone doesn't reveal the entire picture. It could be that some employees earn far less while a few earn significantly more. This is where standard deviation comes in, illustrating how spread out those salaries are. You see, statistical thinking enables us to ask the right questions and avoid common pitfalls. For instance, don't be easily swayed by claims like, well, studies show. Without a proper understanding of the data, you might misinterpret the facts. As we continue our exploration, let's address common data interpretation errors that can steer us off course. One prevalent mistake is the cherry-picking fallacy. This occurs when someone selectively presents data to support a predetermined conclusion while ignoring contradictory evidence. Then there's sample bias, which happens when the data collected isn't representative of the larger group. This can lead to skewed conclusions. Do you remember the controversial study linking vaccines to autism? It was based on a tiny sample size and misrepresented data. Misleading correlations often confuse observers as well. Just because two things happen at the same time doesn't mean one causes the other. For example, just because ice cream sales might rise at the same time as crime rates, we can't assume that ice cream is to blame. Critical thinkers question data sources and strive to ensure they aren't misled. This brings us to trend analysis, which allows us to examine data over time to identify significant patterns or changes. Recognizing trends can guide predictions about future behavior, offering insight into business, health, and environmental changes. Global temperature data over the past century illustrates a clear upward trend indicative of climate change. By carefully analyzing trends, critical thinkers can discern whether movements are statistically significant and what might be causing them. Remember that while short-term fluctuations can be distracting, it's essential to focus on long-term patterns for deeper understanding. Maintaining data integrity is another critical aspect of analysis. Data integrity refers to the accuracy and reliability of the collected data. If data is flawed due to bias or mistake, it becomes useless. In the 1980s, data integrity gained notable attention when the FDA set guidelines for good clinical practices in pharmaceutical research. This highlighted the importance of proper measurement and honest reporting. Just imagine the real consequences of compromised data quality, like when the retracted vaccine study misled public health for years. Critical thinkers ask if data is collected correctly and if independent verification exists. Our discussion leads us to the practical use of data in decision-making. The ultimate goal in interpreting data is to convert insights into action. For instance, businesses analyze customer data to optimize production, while governments leverage health statistics to allocate resources. Did you know that the idea of data-driven decision-making surged in popularity in the 1990s, thanks to advancements in technology? This shift revolutionized how industries function and manage to make better decisions informed by data. But let's not forget, relying solely on data can be dangerous. Human judgment, values, and context play indispensable roles, and the wisest choices combine data insights with sound decision-making principles. Lastly, let's reflect on data in everyday life. We consistently interact with data, whether checking weather forecasts, reading product reviews, or sorting through news polls. Understanding data interpretation can enhance our daily decisions, be it clothing choices or voting. In fact, studies suggest that individuals trained in data literacy are less susceptible to misleading advertisements. Take the common claim of 50% more free, it can be misleading. Learning to navigate ads skillfully means questioning what the data is truly saying. As noted by philosopher Bertrand Russell, questioning numbers is crucial to combat misinformation. By improving our data interpretation abilities, we make well-informed decisions across various aspects of our lives. To summarize, we've delved into the fascinating realm of data interpretation. We covered the foundations of different data types, qualitative and quantitative, and explored the vital role of data visualization in depicting information clearly. We dissected the essence of statistical thinking, recognized common pitfalls in data interpretation, learned about the significance of data integrity, and discussed the impact of data on decision-making in everyday situations. By honing these skills, we empower ourselves to not only understand the world around us but to critically evaluate the information we encounter daily. Remember, data is everywhere, and how we interpret it can shape our decisions and ultimately our lives. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Spelling Bee Ninja. We hope you found our discussion on data interpretation enlightening and useful. Remember, becoming a confident analytical thinker is a process that takes practice and curiosity. If you enjoyed this episode and want more educational content, please subscribe and share it with friends. Until next time, keep questioning the numbers and embracing your journey of learning.